So I've been clean from adult content for a while now, and I thought I'd just share the truth about this content on here really quickly. You see, a lot of people think it's normal. A lot of people think that it's safe to watch that type of content online, if you know what I'm talking about, the P word content. But the reality of it is that it's completely unsafe, and I just can't believe in the past that I used to think that it was normal to do that. And ever since I've had these realizations, I've just never seen it the same way. I just feel so much disgust and hate towards that type of content. And I'm just going to explain to you guys the actual truth behind this content. So here's the first big thing about this content. First big thing is that it rewires your brain. Now you might be thinking like, what do you mean rewire my brain? I mean, it's just some video on a screen that I, do that to, if you know what I'm talking about. But the reality of it is that the more that you watch that content, the more you rewire your brain to never be satisfied with real sexual intercourse, meaning that your brain's going to crave basically pixels on a screen rather than actual, what. And the thing is that I actually fell into this. There were times where I would have like actual intercourse with a real, woman, but then sometimes there would be these cravings like, oh, maybe I should go watch the P word instead, and that would be so much better. And that's how it starts rewiring your brain. So it basically kills your sex drive. And it's honestly just disgusting that in the past that I used to watch, that content, I even got addicted to it. I just can never see it the same way because I just see it for the bullshit that it is now. And it's sad that the media just like makes it sound so normal to watch it and so normal to do what to it. And it's disgusting. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is that it's an addiction. See, this thing is not just some bad habit, it is an addiction. And see, a lot of people think that it's just like a bad habit that they do, or it's just something they do when they're bored, but really it's an addiction. Now, I know if you're watching this video, you may try to argue with me and say, well, it's just some habit that I do time to time. But have you ever done this? Have you ever tried to actually quit doing that habit? Have you ever tried to stop doing it? Have you ever experienced your heart maybe like racing really fast when like you start like resisting, like watching that type of content? Because that's what I went through. I remember when I was like in the process of quitting watching that, I remember I literally just sit on my bed and my heart would race out of my chest and my brain was like almost like taking over. Like it's like I didn't even have control over my own body almost. And my friends, that is not normal. If you're experiencing that and like, you're trying to quit and you're experiencing that is not a bad habit. At that point, you're addicted. That is 100% an addiction. Now in the future, I am going to be making a video on this channel basically explaining how to actually overcome those overwhelming urges, which we'll also discuss how those urges aren't actually urges. They're actually just withdrawal in your brain, basically just screaming for dopamine, but you're like not feeding it that. So that's why your brain's basically craving you to go watch, the P word or whatever. And it's honestly just disgusting that like this is like literally the reality of that content and what it actually does to your head. But that's just another thing I wanted to spread in here. Like, yeah, it's an addiction. It's not a bad habit, bro. Like if you're still watching that and you just can't quit, or you're trying to quit, but for some reason you keep, relapsing to it, yeah, bro, you're addicted. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but you just have to have that realization. Like if you want to fully quit this, you need to accept that it's an addiction. It's not just some habit. Like it is a full out addiction. So here's the third thing that I'm going to talk about on here. So currently at the time of this recording, I am dating this one girl. Me and her kind of been like on and off. And one of the reasons that we went on and off is due to me being addicted to that content. So another thing about the P word content is that it destroys relationships. You see, if I never watched that content, me and her would have never had like this big kind of fight on the phone about it. Cause it's like my brain was almost trying to like defend the idea of watching it. I was like, oh, it's so normal to watch it. Like what's so wrong about it? That's the addict stuff. That again, it's the more addict stuff. And this is what it does. It destroys relationships. Now, fortunately, I managed to quit. And fortunately, me and that girl are still together and we managed to work that all out. Obviously, I'm very grateful for that. That's something that it does. It destroys relationships. It makes you want to watch that content more than actually spend time with a real person and, have like real, intercourse or whatever you want to call it, right? And it's just disgusting. Like I keep saying disgusting, but it is absolutely disgusting that like this is really the reality of that content and like what it does to your head. Like I'm free from it. Like I know for a fact I'm 100% done with it. I don't want anything to ever do with it again. Now, from my experience, it was like the relationship that I was in, but I don't know. It can also kind of affect friendships. It can affect like other things, like maybe family relationships and stuff, all that kind of stuff. Now, see, there are some guys out there that literally watch this content for hours and hours and hours on day. Now, personally, I was never that guy who did that. Like I was only on there for like 5 to 10 minutes and I would do, what to it. Again, obviously I'm all past that. I don't want to go back to that, but there are some people who literally do that where it just consumes their whole life and it basically destroys all the relationships. Like even if they're dating a real person or maybe just like friendships that people have, or like this content is destructive. It's disgusting, really, and this is what it does. And here's the fourth thing, and this is going to be the last thing that I'm going to mention in this video. So the fourth thing that this does to your brain is that it makes you crave variety. So you may be wondering, like, what exactly do I mean by that? So let's just say, for example, you're in a relationship with a girl or somebody or guy or whatever it may be. Like, I don't know, let's just say you're in a relationship, right? You see, you're never going to be satisfied with just one person. So basically, like what it does is that it basically trains your brain. So the more you watch the P word content, it basically trains your brain to crave a variety of people, meaning you're never satisfied with one woman, or I guess one man if you're a woman watching this, but you get the point. It basically makes you more likely to go and sleep around, if you know what I'm talking about, which is obviously completely unhealthy and complete BS. I don't understand why this generation like normalizes that like player mindset or like that player lifestyle. I never understood it. Now, when I was addicted to that content, yeah, I guess you could say I kind of had like that mentality of like, ooh, maybe sleeping around would be good. Obviously it's complete BS. I don't want anything to do with it, but that's what it does. Every time you watch that video, it's always a new person, it's always a new scenario, always a new, position in the video, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's why it makes you never satisfied with just one person. It like rewires your brain to want to like basically go sleep around. And even when you do that, you're never going to be satisfied. And it's just unbelievable that like the amount of stuff that this content does to your brain, how destructive it really is. And like again, like I said this in the beginning of this video, but I can't even look at it the same. I literally cannot see that content and just think the same about it. Like I want nothing to do with it. And I'm honestly just disgusted what that actually did to me back then when I used to watch it. Again, I just wanted to share this on here really quickly because I just wanted to share the truth behind this content. So the moral of it is that it's not safe for you, bro. It's absolutely disgusting and it's destructive. I mean, I already gave you reasons of like what this actually does to your brain and like what it does when you go and watch that and possibly become like addicted, which I guess most men and I guess most women are like literally addicted to that content in this like generation, because I know there's millions and millions of people who just think it's normal to watch it, but it's not. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's sad enough that like the media like normalizes it and says it's okay and all this and that when it's really not. Again, I did just want to share this really quickly on here and just kind of like shed some light on this whole topic. So if you want to support me on YouTube, make sure to leave a like on this video. So the goal on this video is going to be 50 likes. So if we can get 50 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Also, if you want to support me further, make sure to subscribe to my channel, as it would really help me out, as I am currently just getting started. I am trying to like build like an audience on here. So about 90% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel, it would really help me out. I mean, it's free and it doesn't hurt anybody. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, those will also be linked down in the description below. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about this really quickly. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.